a lot of this stuff is very emotional for people.
Yeah.
You hear these stories, it can be like heartbreaking in some cases.
Yeah.
I assume you're doing good work, obviously. And I think I tried to send somebody emailed me a while ago about some scandalous stuff, and I'm like, "Do you guys do it?" And you're like, "No, we don't deal with that type of stuff." I assume you have your lines you don't cross, but at the same time, you are helping people who are really good people and just need assistance with bad situations that may have come up either from no fault of their own or whatever. And I guess talk a little bit about the way you feel when you actually help a client that's a real good person in that situation. But first, a message from our sponsor. SE Rankings is a top-rated SEO platform designed to help agencies and businesses of all sizes automate their daily tasks and make data-driven decisions. You can get your 14 free day trial at seranking.com. Check it out.
So we have we've always gone with this, for many years we've kind of like, oh, I don't feel comfortable with that client, but we didn't really define it properly. About 3 years ago, I think it was before COVID, we actually engaged a business ethics group in Israel, and we went through an entire process with them to create an ethics code. And the ethics code boils down to, we will not work with companies or individuals where the work that we do can cause harm to someone. So if someone, and aside from that, we also choose not to work with certain industries or certain kinds of situations where we feel uncomfortable or we feel kind of an icky factor or something like that. But the real solid line that we will not cross is if we feel like, because of that, cases where there's been sexual harassment, for example, and there's some reason to believe that it actually happened, or we don't work with those because we feel like it's possible that our work could allow this person for people not to be warned that there was an issue in the past. It doesn't mean that no one else should work with them. It doesn't mean that it's just a line that we have drawn for ourselves. We won't work with people who we feel have business practices that could be dangerous to other people or bad for other people. So if someone, plus the fact those kind of people aren't really reliable payers. We do turn down quite a bit of a potential business because we don't feel comfortable with the industry.
There's probably a large percentage of people looking for these services fall into those icky categories.
Yeah. So we work more with corporations than with individuals now,
and that's part of your whole thing. We're talking about client development and that makes sense. But I'm sure you get a lot of like random phone calls from like.
We do get more. I think that some of the more aggressive marketing kind of reputation firms probably get the ones that are advertising all over the place. You look up online reputation management, there's about 10 firms that will advertise and they'll chase you around Google after you've been to their site. So I think they have to deal with more of those inquiries because we're more word of mouth. But it's really important, and part of it, that's also part of the client retention, I think. Employee retention. Our employees, a lot of them, probably all of them, would just not feel comfortable working with some of the kinds of clients where you feel like, oh, the work I go into work every day and I help people who may end up hurting other people, or whose businesses may not be that legit. So that's that's not. Makes sense. As a case in point, years ago we did some work for an e-cigarette company, and because at the time when that first came out, it was kind of, this is going to be the way people quit e-cigarettes. Right. And over time, we felt differently. We felt like, as much as there may be good in it, because it's keeping people away from more dangerous kind of tobacco products, we felt like it was starting to become a threat to children who use this as a gateway. So it's not saying it's immoral to work with them, but we chose not to because we felt uncomfortable with that kind of brand. And we've chosen certain topics, certain areas that we just choose not to work with.
Makes sense. Very good. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you giving all this information to all these listeners. How can people learn more about you? You're not so much on social media. I think you.
No, not so much. A little bit. When I travel, I sometimes post that I was here, I was there.
Yeah, but I do see your Facebook, not Instagram, right? Nor TikTok.
A little bit of Instagram. You should be on
TikTok.
Yeah, I should be on TikTok. Maybe.
But basically, 5blocks.com.
5blocks.com or Sam Michelson, and reach out to me through LinkedIn is the best. And I'm happy to talk to anybody. We do webinars and like lunch and learns for people for just to share information. So if anybody thinks that's interesting, just let us know.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.